This is a special episode
Wake up!
of the podcast
Wake up!
for your punk ass.
You know, I come today with a very heavy heart because President Trump, our president, has literally betrayed the conscience of our country. Well, there's, good people on the side of the Nazis.
Clear!
They weren't all Nazis. They weren't all white supremacists. Mr. President, good people don't pile around with Nazis and white supremacists.
Clear!
This has become very troubling, and for anyone to come on any network
Clear!
and defend what President Trump did and said at that press conference yesterday is completely lost.
I'm calling it time of death 2017. Mrs. Earth, Mr. Earth, I'm sorry. Dr. Canton and I did everything we possibly could, but we couldn't revive the patient. America is dead.
So we see that this Make America White Again, what Trump campaigned on, hasn't stopped. It's just gone up 50 levels. So I'm gonna make this loud and clear. For those of you who wanna make America great again, for those of you that didn't have a problem with what went on last Saturday, Coach Norman Dale of Hickory High School is not walking through those doors. Or Jimmy Chitwood, the star player of Hickory High School, is not walking through that door, America. America's going forward. I refuse to go back to 1957. I'm only sitting on the back of the bus because it's my choice and not a law. Black folks are gonna play quarterback in the NFL. There will be black coaches in football, baseball, and basketball.
Wake up, teaching maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be.
What about the alt-left that came charging at the, as you say, the alt-right? Do they have any semblance of guilt? Blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. They had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit.
When Trayvon Martin case happened, Michael Brown and Tamir Rice and all these different things happen, every single case, it's some little black asshole behaving like a savage, and he gets himself in trouble, shockingly enough.
They had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit.
Whatever problems I might have with my fellow white people, they generally are not inclined to such behavior, and you gotta kind of take that into consideration when you're thinking about how to organize your society.
They had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit.
I'm trying to make myself more capable of violence.
Blame on both sides.
Excuse me, sir. You know where I be? You know where I be? You know where this ain't America, is it? You can't fool me. No, you can't fool me. You can't fool me. Excuse me, miss. I mean seriously. This ain't America, is it? You can't fool me. No, you can't fool me. You can't fool me.
I'm here to spread ideas, talk, in the hopes that somebody more capable will come along and do that. Somebody like Donald Trump, who does not give his daughter to a Jew.
Blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it. They had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit.
I don't think that you could feel about race the way I do and watch that Kushner bastard walk around with that beautiful girl, okay?
Blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it.
This is about hatred. This is about white supremacy. And to have Heather Heyer killed on U.S. soil by Nazis, DeAndre Harris beaten and bludgeoned by Nazis. This is not talking points here. This is not partisanship. This is human life. And as a mother, to hear the president of these United States not sit here and condemn what has happened as a black woman of two black boys, my heart bleeds. This is not talking points here. This is personal. And we as a nation, as a country, have to do better.
Blame on both sides.
Excuse me, sir. You know where I be? You know where I be? You know where This ain't America, is it? You can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can't fool me. Excuse me, miss. I mean seriously. I mean seriously. I mean seriously. This ain't America, is it? You can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can't fool me. So Dave, why are acts of terrorism from certain individuals looked upon differently than acts of terrorism from other individuals?
Because what we did, we demonized the religion called Islam. We racialized terrorism to be a particular person. You know that image in your head. I don't need to explain it. But when there's white, domestic, Christian terrorism, this is one guy, one individual, one lunatic, one person, all by himself, the lone wolf. It's not the religion, Christianity. It's not the race, white. It's not the gender, male. It's just one guy. In other words, I don't know, this dude is just sick. But I know when I wake up the next day and go to Times Square and take a photo next to the guy playing in his underwear and all those other photos and take those pictures, that I highly doubt another white Christian male terrorist will get in his car from Ohio and drive through Times Square. However, because I think it's an ISIS terrorist bomb in London or Paris, that I got to protect myself, because this could happen the next day in New York. But studies show you have more of a chance being killed by an American citizen than an ISIS person. Look at all the data. We're constructing fear that further demonizes a group of people and a religion. So what white privilege does, it allows us to look at white people as individuals. But for minority groups, blacks, women, we're grouped. All blacks, all women, all people who study Islam. But white people are individuals. So Dylan Roof is an individual, even though he's on Facebook, a lot of these other nuts. This other guy feels he's an individual, but look who's he talking to. Other individuals, other groups. But that white skin protects them. You see, because if it didn't, things would be different. And that's why they will do the things they do, because that's white privilege. That's their protection, and there's no red alert when we have domestic terrorism. I think people are still grappling with that, because terrorism has been put on a religion, on a group, and not just a terrorist act.
Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark.
I was proud of the original statement. He knows, President, you have to be measured, you have to be calm, you want to calm the waters, you want to be thoughtful in your initial statement, because it's early on and you don't have all the facts and you don't want to speak out of hand. So you had Antifa, you had Black Lives Matter clashing. Every time one of these situations happens, you see the worst of people sometimes. I think we saw it out of the left.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dave and Beeks Show. My name is Jerry Beeks, and this is a special edition of the podcast for your punk ass.
Yeah, look what we got. It's crazy out there. But this is why we have number 45 Agent Orange in the White House. Folks didn't vote.
Slow down, love. I can't pick up all you're putting down. Your words fall all around me. See them laying here on the ground. Don't be cross with me, baby, if I leave them there for the birds. Slow down, love, and come closer. Your kiss can tell me more than words. Not much time remaining. Let's not spend it explaining. Whoa.
Welcome to the Dave and Beeks podcast, the podcast for your punk ass. What's going on, Beeks?
What's up, big brother?
I hope last Saturday woke folks up, including my guy, Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, Dave? Yes, Colin Kaepernick. 1 week after the presidential election, Colin Kaepernick stated, "I do not believe in voting." It's contradictory to take a knee and protest police brutality and not go out and vote. And there are a lot of people that felt that way. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't start voting till I was about 24 years old in grad school when my students told me, "Professor Canton, you teach civil rights history, don't vote?" And that damn bell went off in my head. Ding! And I've been voting ever since.
Yeah, but a lot of people felt like there was no difference between Trump and Hillary, you know?
That's like saying there's no difference between Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's like telling me there's no difference between Steph Curry and Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving. There is a difference between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. We know what it is, and this is why you got to get out and vote. This is why we had Charlottesville last week. We got David Duke out there from Louisiana, white, former Klan member. We have these populations coming out of the woodworks, emboldened to say whatever they want to say. That's because folks don't want to get out and vote. When we're in school, we're just told to vote because somebody died. It's something you have to do, but not really understanding the process and why voting is necessary. It's not perfect. There's no perfect president or perfect process, but it takes sometimes 10 minutes to vote. Now, if you live in a black district, it might take 6 hours. And we know each time I vote, I know I'm not getting a pay raise. That pothole might still be around for 2 weeks. There's still going to be racism. There's still going to be sexism. It's not perfect, but this isn't China. This is America. You know what? Human beings, we can do two things at once. Kaepernick has an organization called Know Your Rights Camp, a campaign for youth funded by Kaepernick to raise awareness on higher education, self-empowerment, and how to teach people, young people, to interact with the police. That's a great initiative. But what if Cap said, "Hey, Dave, why don't you come down and give a talk to my organization or give some money?" What if I told him, "You know what, Cap? Your organization is not going to stop police brutality. I'm not going to give you any of my time or my money because I think it's a waste of time." See what I mean? So the same argument that he used about not voting, I can use against him about supporting his organization. How about we work together, brother? You come to vote, I come to the organization, everybody wins. You see what I mean? So voting is not perfect. I'm first to tell you that. But look, we have in the office that hopefully we can learn. But why should we wait to have Donald Trump? Think about it this way. Trump is like diabetes. The doctor told you to work out, told you to stop eating all them French fries, stop drinking all that soda, stop going to Five Guys every day. But you waited till when? You got diabetes. Now you got to take that insulin shot. So when people say, "You see, Trump's a wake-up call," why wait till you're sick? Why wait till we have Trump in office when this could have been prevented by what? Voting. Going out and voting. You see what I mean? Stop playing crisis politics. So if Brother Kaepernick votes, he will get other young African-American men who feel the same way. I get it. I understand. That's the beauty. So when you have Kaepernick taking a knee, let's take a step back and say, wow, this is great. That's what these soldiers are fighting for. But you're all caught up. You see what I mean? Now, let's take another point. Whatever happened to Tom Brady, who wore a Make America Great Again hat? Bob Kraft, Jerry Jones, they're Republicans. Did they send Donald Trump an email about his weak statement on Saturday? No, they didn't send anything. We're all these fans who wrote emails about Colin Kaepernick as a disruption. A disruption? That was a disruption on Saturday. You see what I mean about the message? I can't find those fans. You see? But when Kaepernick or Michael Bennett of the Seattle Seahawks or Marshawn Lynch are now sitting down, we now see that it's what? Contagious.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
It's moving on. Other people are waking up. Now, Roger Goodell yesterday said, well, you see, I get it. You know, this is America. You know what he's really saying? Don't do it at the game. Go do it in your organization, in the neighborhood, where you're going to reach like 100 kids. You see what I mean? Don't do it during the game. Hugh Jackson, the black coach of the Cleveland Browns. We hopefully don't have these problems here. In other words, this is my last opportunity to be a head coach. I'm black. Please, brothers, don't do it. I'm begging. Well, let me tell you something, Jackson. Your team still sucks. I hope they do it, and you're being selfish. You know as well as I do, you got a job. You good. Even if you get fired, you'll be an assistant somewhere.
Well, a total of 12 players on the Cleveland Browns took a knee during the anthem last night when they played the Giants. So there you go.
They should do it. It's their right. This isn't China. I keep saying this isn't Russia. You can do these things. Don't worry about it. You're being selfish. Was Dr. King selfish? Because I know you'll cite Dr. King. I have a dream. Well, he dreamt that you allow these folks. Don't allow. That's their right to do it. So now we're getting all this double talk. When they always say, well, I support it, but the place and time. What that means, translation, don't do it at the games. After the game, go to your church, the Boys and Girls Club, the local high school, but please don't do it during the games. Did Roger Goodell call President Trump and say, why didn't he say something again on Saturday? No.
Hell no. No.
This is what I'm talking about, folks. This is being a more critical consumer. So why don't this year we start supporting the players on teams that are being active?
All right.
Now there's talk of boycotting the NFL. Some guys are giving up their DirecTV package. I never had it, can't afford it. Their end zone package. You see what I'm saying? Well, they're just copycatting. Well, that's how movement starts. What if Chrysler said, I'm just copying Ford? There'll be no Chrysler Car Company. That's what it takes. It takes one person to start a movement, not just a moment. Look at Ken Frazier, the CEO of Merck Pharmaceuticals, the CEO of Under Armour, and the CEO of Intel got off of Trump's manufacturing team. Why? Because the people that buy their product are under 30. They don't watch Hoosiers. They don't care about Jimmy Chitwood. They're not living in the past. These are young millennials who are open to other races, religions, not all caught up on some old ancient 1957 picket fence play.
Don't get caught watching a paint dry.
They want to see dunks behind the pass, alley-oops behind the back passes, and three-point shots, and if you like Ice Cube, four-point shots. That's why they left, because they know their consumer base. Now, Frazier left as an African-American male because that joint was racist, plain and simple, and Trump tweets against the brother, but not against the two other white guys. You see what I mean? That's what we're talking about.
White power!
Why didn't he tweet it? And it only took him an hour to tweet. It took him 48 hours to say something to denounce neo-Nazis, white nationalists. Go on their websites. Look what they're talking about.
I think we should vote again.
They want that Hoosiers lifestyle. Well, it ain't happening. They're not walking through that door. Norman Dale or Jimmy Chitwood. Can't stress it enough. You know who's walking through? Steph Curry, the Greek freak. See, I'm going international on you. You see what I mean? That's what's changing. So why don't we support those players this year and those teams? I know there are a lot of Cowboy fans, and I know it's hard to wean ourselves off our favorite teams, but maybe this is a time we can reflect and say, you know what? Maybe I'll watch one less game, buy one less jersey, one hat, one Cowboy jacket, making this man rich who doesn't say anything, supports a president who's against civil rights. Make him pay in the pocket.
How about them Cowboys?
That's the way you get Cap in the league. Follow the money. So, Brother Cap, I know you might not hear this podcast, but I think you will. I want you to rethink your stance on voting and all those other folks. Again, I understand your point, but look what we have. I'm not saying Hillary Clinton or the Democrats are perfect. Remember, it's not a perfect process. There's no perfect president. But what I do know, what we have now, woo!
Blame on both sides.
I don't know if it can get any worse. This man is crazy. You see what I mean? So hopefully, Kaepernick, we go out and vote, continue the work that you're doing, and these other players are standing up for what's right, not being selfish and seeing the larger picture. But as I said before, take time to think about it. You're in a country where you can play the Star-Spangled Banner. You don't have to stand. You can decide if you want to put your hand on your chest, you want to take your hat off. You have that choice. That's America. Have you forgot your civics class? Or do they tell you that, oh, you have to do what everybody else does? That's what they do in Russia. That's why Trump loves Putin. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. He don't sign documents. And if you got a problem, you end up missing somewhere. That's the Russian way. That's not the American way. But to ensure the American way, you need the vote. So my final point, politicians say we want more folks to vote. No, they don't. Because when less people vote, you're more likely to win. If we constantly vote, that puts pressure on politicians to make changes. But if there's 10 people, only 3 are voting, they're only catering to the 3. So there's an old saying, mind over matter. If you don't mind, you don't matter. And if you don't vote, you really don't matter. So let's go out there and vote, support your local organizations, let's support these players, and let's make sure that we can ensure we don't have what we have in the White House in 2020.
And don't be deterred by voter suppression. Every Muslim's a terrorist, and that means every white man's a supremacist, and that means every black man is a derelict, and I guess we all gotta be on the terror list. I never was curious, but I couldn't resist. People look at Ollie Miggs and they think that he's a terrorist. He might just be down with ISIS, radical and he's righteous. Dwelling with a sellout nice slip seems to happen in abundance when we travel to London. He looks like an Arab, they assume that he's Muslim. If you see something, then say something. But if that something just ain't nothing, you need to stop fronting before you get confronted. But he shot up to the top of the watch list. Every spot we had ever chopped it up and got hit. The FBI, they tried to get me to snitch. CIA said, stop playing, Beaks, we need you to flip. Yo, the ATF, they even threatened my chick, so I told Homeland Security to suck me. They'll communicate, yo, no manifesto to say or claim responsibility from the get-go, okay. They won't take it from the front, they'll take it straight from the back. When they rape the information with the Patriot Act, they keep dissing him like some undisciplined American citizen. SEAL Team 6, soon they'll be sending in the men, son. We keep it easy like Sunday morning, and a shoe bomber would never destroy a pair of Jordans. He's Puerto Rican, yo, he grew up right across from Fordham, not Pakistan or wherever the Taliban taught him. At the show, they surrounding the venue. Sometimes they stop us in the middle and won't let us continue. Like a suicide bomber that's in disguise. It's getting worse, it's harder to survive. With spitting fire on high alert. If every Muslim's a terrorist, and that means every white man's a supremacist, and that means every black man is a derelict, then I guess we all gotta be on the terror list. They hoping Ollie got the Mike and Molly. So after the show, he almost got bodied at the after party. Desperate times call for desperate measures. People living in fear, but that leverage, it won't last forever. So I'm waiting on the world to change. I'm raising red flags up in the lab, trying to blow up the game. Smothering drones, hovering, yo, he's under surveillance. Plus his brothers and everywhere his mother's been. Bronx slang, we still bombing away. And the next show is live from Guantanamo Bay. Yo, it might seem weird, but it's perfectly clear. He's like Osama bin Laden without the blood and the beard. They want to slaughter your whole tortoise, the rigor mortis, and die slow like a turtle just trying to run up on us. Hacking into the program we rapping in, slacking off, they'll still be coming after him. He's been compared to several assailants on the subway train, causing major derailments. Whoever reigns supreme is king in this Game of Thrones might not even want to live in the castle. Who's saving home? It's like a phantom, the flim-flam's inflammatory. And there's a pattern when 20 years is mandatory. And they won't feel like you really tried to kill it when stuff gets real and even hard to deal with. A terrorist could exist in all shades and sizes. I'm not surprised by all this racial profiling. Shut up the club with bullets over tight dubs. Tonight we hype, everybody showing love. Like a suicide bomber that's in disguise. It's getting worse, it's harder to survive when spitting fire on high alert. If every Muslim's a terrorist, and that means every white man's a supremacist, and that means every black man is a derelict, and I guess we all gotta be on the terror list. If every Muslim's a terrorist, then that means every white man's a supremacist, and that means every black man is a derelict, then I guess we all gotta be on that terror list. Ain't that right? Yo, ain't that right? Ain't that right?
check out the first 3 episodes of the Dave and Beaks podcast, the podcast for yo punk ass.
Thanks for listening today, everybody, to this special edition of the Dave and Beaks Show. We'll bring you another episode as soon as it's humanly possible, because without you, it would only be us.
Dark brown shades of my skin only add color to my tears. Oh, that splash against my hollow bones that rocks my soul. Looking back over my false dreams that I once knew, wondering why my dreams never came true. Is it because I'm black? Somebody tell me, what can I do? Oh, Lord. Oh, something is holding me back. Is it because I'm black? Yeah. In this world of no pity, I was raised in the ghettos of the city. Yeah, oh Lord. Mama, she worked so hard to earn every penny. Yeah, yeah. Oh Lord. Something is holding me back. Is it because I'm black?